Chief Adewale Balogun was one of the richest men in Lagos. He had big houses, many cars, and important friends. But the most important person in his life was his only daughter, Zara Balogun. Zara had just come back from the United Kingdom. She went there to study for her master's degree. She was very smart and kind. When she arrived at the airport, many people were happy to see her. Cameras were flashing. Workers were greeting her. Standing close to her was a tall man in a black suit. His name was Tunde Adebayo. Tunde was not smiling. His eyes were sharp like an eagle. He looked left and right. He watched every person who came close. Tunde was Zara's bodyguard. Chief Adewale trusted Tunde more than anyone. Tunde had worked for him for many years. He was strong, brave, and very serious about his job. "Your duty is simple," Chief Adewale once told him. "Protect my daughter. Make sure she is safe. No matter what." And Tunde always replied, "Yes, sir. I will protect her with my life." From the airport, Zara and Tunde entered a black SUV. Two other security men followed behind in another car. Tunde sat in front, but his eyes were always on the side mirror, watching everything. Zara laughed softly. "Uncle Tunde, Lagos has not changed at all." Tunde smiled a little. "Lagos changes every day, madam. That is why we must be careful." The next day, Zara wanted to visit her old friend, Amaka, in Lekki. She missed her very much. "I don't need too much security," Zara said. "I just want to see my friend." But Tunde shook his head. "Anywhere you go, I go." When they arrived at the cafe, Tunde stood close to the door. He did not sit. He did not eat. He only watched. Some young men at another table kept looking at Zara. One of them stood up and began walking toward her. Before the man could even speak, Tunde stepped in front of him. "Can I help you?" Tunde asked calmly. The young man quickly said, No problem," and went back to his seat. Zara sighed. "You scare everybody away." "My job is not to be friendly," Tunde said quietly. "My job is to keep you safe." Days passed. Tunde followed Zara everywhere. To business meetings, to charity events, even to church on Sunday. He always checked the cars before she entered. He always looked around before she stepped out. One evening, as they were returning home, their car stopped at a traffic light in Victoria Island. Suddenly, a motorcycle stopped beside them. Tunde's eyes became sharp. The man on the bike was wearing a helmet. He slowly moved his hand inside his jacket. Tunde's heart beat fast. Something was not right. He quickly told the driver, "Lock the doors." Zara looked confused. "What is happening?" Before Tunde could answer, the man on the motorcycle brought out. The man on the motorcycle brought out a small black bag. Tunde did not wait to find out what was inside it. "Drive!" he shouted. The driver quickly pressed the accelerator, but the traffic light was still red. Cars were in front of them. They could not move. The man on the bike knocked on Zara's window. Zara's eyes grew wide. "Tunde! Stay down," Tunde said quickly. He opened his door a little and stepped out carefully. His body stood between the man and the car. "What do you want?" Tunde asked in a strong voice. The man slowly removed his helmet. He was sweating. "I am not here to hurt anyone," the man said. "I have a message for Miss Zara." "I don't take messages from strangers," Tunde replied. The man lifted the black bag and dropped it on the road. Then he quickly jumped back on his motorcycle and sped away before anyone could stop him. The traffic light turned green, but Tunde did not move. He stared at the bag. Other drivers began to honk loudly. "Sir," the driver said nervously, "we are blocking the road." Tunde ignored the noise. He walked slowly to the bag. He bent down but did not touch it. "Don't come out," he warned Zara. Carefully, he used his foot to push the bag open. Inside was not a bomb. It was a brown envelope. Tunde picked it up and returned to the car. They drove away quickly. Inside the moving car, Tunde opened the envelope. There was only one piece of paper inside. Zara leaned forward. "What does it say?" Tund read the words silently first. His face changed. "Tell me," Zara said softly. Tund looked at her. The letter said, "Welcome back to Nigeria, Zara Balogun. You are not as safe as you think." Zara felt cold all over her body. "Who would write this?" she whispered. Tund folded the paper carefully. "I don't know yet," he said. "But I will find out." When they got home, Chief Adewale was already waiting. Tund gave him the letter. Chief Adewale's face became serious. "This is not a joke," he said. "We have business enemies. Some people are not happy with me." Zara was shocked. "Because of business. They want to hurt me." Chief Adewale did not answer. That night Tund did not sleep. He walked around the house with other guards. He checked the gates twice. He watched the CCTV cameras. At midnight, one of the cameras suddenly went blank. Tund stopped walking. "That camera covers the back gate," he said slowly. His phone rang at that same moment. Unknown number. He answered. A deep voice spoke from the other side. "If you really want to protect her," the voice said, "come to the old warehouse in Apapa. Alone." The line went dead. Tund looked at the dark compound. Then he looked up at Zara's bedroom window. Without telling anyone, he quietly picked up his car keys and headed toward the gate. Tund held his car keys tightly. The night was very quiet. Too quiet. He looked up at Zara's bedroom window again. The light was still on. She was awake. He knew one thing in his heart. This was a trap. But if he did nothing, the people behind the message might try something worse. He walked back inside the house instead of leaving. He went straight to Chief Adewale's study. "Sir," Tund said softly, "someone called me. They want me to come to an old warehouse in Apapa. Alone." Chief Adewale stood up quickly. "It is a trap. You are not going." Tund shook his head. "If I don't go, they may come here. They are testing us." Just then Zara appeared at the door. She had heard everything. "You are not going anywhere alone because of me," she said, her voice shaking. Tund looked at her. For the first time, his strong face looked unsure. "My job is to protect you," he said quietly. "And my job is not to lose someone because of me," Zara replied. There was silence in the room. Chief Adewale called the head of security. "Double the guards. Lock every gate. Nobody enters or leaves." Tund turned to Zara. "Please stay inside your room. Lock your door." She nodded slowly. But when Tund stepped outside again, something made him stop. The compound was too silent. No guards were walking around. No footsteps. No voices. His heart began to pound. He ran toward the security post at the gate. "Me." The chairs were on the floor. One of the doors was half open. "Teyo," Tund called softly. "Emeka." No answer. Suddenly, he heard a soft scream from inside the house. "Help! Zara!" Tund ran faster than he had ever run before. He pushed open the front door. Inside, the lights were off. The house that was bright a few minutes ago was now dark. "Zara!" he shouted. He heard footsteps upstairs. Heavy footsteps. More than one person. Tund took the small flashlight from his pocket and climbed the stairs quietly. Halfway up, he saw something on the floor. It was one of the guards. Unconscious. Tund's hands began to shake, but he controlled himself. He reached Zara's door. It was open. The window curtains were flying in the wind. The balcony door was wide open. And Zara was gone. Tund's chest felt tight. For the first time in many years, fear entered his heart. On the bed was another envelope. With trembling hands he opened it. It said, "You chose not to come alone. Now she is with us." Tund closed his eyes for 1 second. Only 1 second. Then he stood up straight. His voice became cold. "They have made a big mistake." At that moment his phone buzzed again. A message came in. Picture. It was Zara. She was tied to a chair in a dark place. Her eyes were filled with tears. Behind her, Tund could see something on the wall. Sign. He looked closer at the picture. His eyes widened. He knew that place. But before he could move, Another message came in. Come alone this time, or she pays the price. Tund gripped his phone tightly. And then Tund gripped his phone tightly. His breathing became slow and steady. He looked at the picture again. Behind Zara, on the wall, was a faded drawing of a blue fish. Under it were the words, Atlantic Cold Storage. Tund knew that place. It was an old frozen food warehouse near the Apapa docks. It had been closed for years after a fire accident. They chose that place because it is quiet, he whispered. Chief Adewale rushed into the room. What is happening? Tund showed him the picture. Chief Adewale's hands began to shake. My daughter, my only child. Tund placed a firm hand on his shoulder. Sir, listen to me. Cry later. Right now we must think. Chief Adewale tried to stay strong. What do they want? Another message came in. Bring the red file from your office safe. The one marked Project Eagle. Chief Adewale froze. Tund looked at him carefully. What is Project Eagle? Chief Adewale did not speak at first. Sir, Tund said, his voice serious. If we hide things now, Zara may suffer. Chief Adewale swallowed hard. Project Eagle is a business deal. Very big deal. If it succeeds, I will control the new seaport contract. Many powerful people will lose money. Tund's jaw tightened. So this is not random. No, Chief Adewale said softly. This is war. Another message came. You have 1 hour. Zara sat in the dark warehouse, tied to a chair. Her hands hurt. Her heart was beating very fast. She remembered Tund's words. Stay calm. Look around. Think. She slowly turned her head. There were 2 men guarding her. One was tall and quiet. The other one kept talking too much. She looks too calm, the talkative one said. She is just scared, the tall one replied. Zara noticed something important. The ropes around her hands were tight, but not tight enough. Whoever tied her was in a hurry. She slowly began to move her wrist little by little. Back at the mansion, Tund opened the safe in Chief Adewale's office. Inside was a red file. Tund flipped through it quickly. Contracts. Then one name made him stop. Alhaji Musa Dinladi. Tund's eyes grew dark. Years ago, Alhaji Musa had lost a major contract to Chief Adewale. He had sworn revenge. Tund remembered something else. The tall guard at the warehouse picture. His shape looked familiar. Very familiar. Tund looked at Chief Adewale. Sir, did you recently hire any new security staff? Chief Adewale thought for a moment. Yes, 2 months ago. Man. Quiet fellow. Came with good recommendations. Tund's heart dropped. What is his name? Chief Adewale checked his phone records. His name is Kabaru. Tund closed his eyes slowly. The tall man in the picture. Quiet one. The one who rarely spoke. The one who had been inside this house every day. He helped them, Tund said in a low voice. Just then the CCTV system beeped. One of the cameras came back on. And on the screen they saw something that made their blood run cold. The main gate was slowly opening. The main gate was slowly opening. No guard was there. No one was controlling it. It was opening by itself. Chief Adewale stepped back. What is happening? Tund stared at the CCTV screen. Then he saw a small blinking light near the control box. They hacked the system, he said. Outside the gate, a white van was waiting in the dark. Engine was running. Tund's mind worked fast. They are coming to search for the red file themselves. Another message entered his phone. You have 30 minutes left. Tund quickly turned to Chief Adewale. Sir, give them what they want. Chief Adewale looked shocked. What? Never. Tund's voice was calm but firm. We will give them something. But not the real one. Chief Adewale understood. Within minutes, they replaced the important documents inside the red file with blank papers. Tund closed the file. I will go, he said. No, Chief Adewale replied. You said it yourself. It is a trap. Tund looked him in the eye. Yes, but this time I am ready. He removed his suit jacket and placed it on the chair. Under it he wore a bulletproof vest. He checked his small earpiece. Then he turned to the other trusted guards who had just arrived. Follow my car from a distance. Do not come close unless I say so. Chief Adewale grabbed Tund's arm. Bring my daughter back. Tund nodded once. I will. At the warehouse, Zara's hands were almost free. The rope was loosening. She tried not to make noise. The talkative guard was walking around, laughing. The father will bring the file. Then we collect money too, he said. Kabaru, the tall quiet man, said nothing. He only looked at Zara. For 1 second their eyes met. Zara saw something in his eyes. Not anger. Not hate. Fear. Far away, Tund's car stopped near the old Atlantic cold storage building. The place looked broken and dark. The air smelled like salt and rust. He stepped out slowly, holding the red file. I'm here, he shouted. The big metal door opened with a loud creak. Enter alone, a voice shouted from inside. Tund walked in carefully. The door closed behind him. Inside was dark except for one hanging bulb. And under that bulb, Zara, tied to the chair. Tund's heart hurt when he saw her. I'm here, he said softly. Zara tried to smile, even though tears filled her eyes. Then a man stepped out from the shadows. Alhaji Musa Dinladi, clapping slowly. Welcome, Tund the loyal dog, he said with a wicked smile. Tund's eyes were cold. Let her go. Alhaji Musa laughed. First, give me the file. Tund stepped forward. But just as he moved closer, Zara suddenly shouted, Tund, look out! Behind him, Kabaru lifted something heavy in his hand. Behind him, Kabaru lifted something heavy in his hand. A metal rod. Tund turned quickly. The rod came down fast, but Tund moved to the side. It hit the floor with a loud clang. Kabaru looked shocked. Tund did not waste time. He kicked the rod away and pushed Kabaru hard. They both fell to the ground. Alhaji Musa shouted, Stop him! The talkative guard ran toward Zara, trying to use her as a shield. But Zara had already loosened the rope around her hands. With all her strength, she stood up suddenly and pushed the chair backward. The chair hit the guard's legs. He fell down with a loud cry. Tund punched Kabaru once. Kabaru did not fight back strongly. Instead he whispered quickly, I had no choice. Tund paused for a second. That second was enough. Alhaji Musa pulled out a small gun. Everybody stop, he shouted. The room became silent. Zara froze. Tund slowly stood up, raising his hands a little. This is between you and Chief Adewale, Tund said calmly. She has done nothing. Alhaji Musa's eyes were full of anger. Her father destroyed my company. I lost everything. You lost a contract, Tund replied. Not your life. Alhaji Musa pointed the gun closer to Zara. My son left this country because of that loss, he said. He was ashamed. He never came back. Zara's voice trembled. That is not my fault. Alhaji Musa's hand shook. Outside the warehouse, Tund's backup team waited quietly in their car. They were watching through a small camera Tund had hidden on his shirt. One of them whispered, He is in danger. Inside, Kabaru slowly stood up. He looked at Alhaji Musa. Sir, Kabaru said softly, this is going too far. Alhaji Musa turned angrily. You are weak. Kabaru's voice broke. You promised no one would get hurt. Tund understood something important. Kabaru was not evil. He was scared. Alhaji Musa suddenly grabbed Zara's arm and pulled her close, pressing the gun near her head. Drop the file, he shouted. Tund slowly placed the red file on the ground and pushed it forward with his foot. Alhaji Musa bent slightly to pick it up. At that exact moment, the hanging bulb above them began to swing. 'Cause outside, a loud crash was heard. The warehouse door burst open. Tund's backup team rushed in. Alhaji Musa fired the gun. A loud bang filled the air. Zara screamed. Tund jumped forward. Smoke filled the room. For a few seconds nobody could see clearly. Then the smoke slowly cleared. And someone was lying on the floor. Not moving. Zara looked down. Her heart almost stopped. Because the person on the floor was. He had jumped in front of Zara. The bullet hit his shoulder. Blood stained his shirt, but he was still breathing. Zara fell to her knees beside him. Why would you do that? Kabru winced in pain. I said. No one would get hurt. Tund quickly kicked the gun away from Alhaji Musa. The backup team grabbed him and pushed him to the ground. It's over, Tund said firmly. Alhaji Musa struggled, but he was outnumbered. The police sirens could already be heard in the distance. Zara held Kabru's hand. Tears rolled down her face. You helped them take me. Kabru nodded weakly. They threatened my family. I was afraid. But when he pointed the gun at you, I couldn't let him shoot. Tund looked at him carefully. For the first time he saw not a traitor, but a man who had made a bad choice out of fear. Call an ambulance, Tund ordered. Minutes later, the police took Alhaji Musa away in handcuffs. His anger was gone. Only regret remained on his face. Kabru was carried into the ambulance. Before they closed the door, he looked at Tund. I'm sorry, he whispered. Tund gave a small nod. Make better choices next time. At the hospital, doctors treated Kabru. The bullet had missed his heart. He would survive. Back at the mansion, Chief Adewale hugged Zara tightly. My daughter. I almost lost you. Zara held him close. Money and contracts are not worth this, Daddy. Chief Adewale was quiet for a long time. The next week he called for a meeting with his business partners. He decided to settle old fights peacefully. No more secret battles. No more enemies. Zara also made a decision. I don't just want to be known as your daughter, she told her father. I want to build something good. Something that helps people. Chief Adewale smiled proudly. You truly came back from the UK wiser. And Tund. He returned to his usual spot by the gate. Serious. Alert. Watching. But something had changed. One evening, as Zara walked toward her car, she stopped in front of him. Thank you, she said softly. For what? Tund asked. For protecting me. Not just with your strength, but with your heart. Tund looked away shyly. It is my job. Zara smiled. It is more than that. The sun was setting over Lagos. The sky was orange and gold. The danger was gone. Peace had returned to the Balogun family. And as Tund opened the car door for Zara, he knew one thing for sure. As long as he was standing, no harm would ever come near her again.